So you're trying to sell custom furniture. Here's what you don't need this week in order to do it. You don't need a website. You don't need an ad budget. You don't need a big audience. What you need is you need to have 40 meaningful conversations and a strategy. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to land your first custom furniture client this week. Let's get started. All right, well, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the podcast. As always, I'm your host, Zach Vaught, and if you are trying to grow a woodworking business or a custom furniture company, I would love to invite you to come hang out with us here on this channel. That is the only thing we talk about, is we talk about the business strategies, the systems, the processes, the marketing, the sales, everything that you need to build a meaningful custom furniture company. And so in today's video, this is really for those of you that are just getting started, or maybe you've built a few things and you're really struggling to land that first deposit, that first deal. They're trusting you to build that first piece. And so in today's video, I want to walk you through just a 7-day process of what you need to do in order to land your first deal. Now, before I really dive into this, the main thing I want to just start by saying is that there's a really good chance that you're doing a lot more thinking than you are acting. If you're here and you've got tools and you've got skills, and you know how to build stuff and you're struggling to sell, there's a really good chance that you spend a lot of time in your head thinking about what I could do or what I should do or what the possibilities are or what my capabilities are or whatever. You need to quit thinking and you need to start acting, okay? And so in this video, I'm going to walk you through what steps to take strategically so that 7 days from now, you're looking at that first deposit sitting in your bank account. All right, so let's dive into it. Number one, the first day, what you need to do is you need to pick one thing, one item. This can be a table, a dining table. It can be an entryway table. It can be a coffee table or end tables. It can be something in the bedroom. It can be a porch swing. It can be anything. If you've already built something, pick one of the things that you've built. If you've only built one thing, that's your item. If you haven't built anything yet, this is where you get creative and you start going to people that you know, asking if they have any woodworking projects that they need help with. But if you've already built an item, we want to market that item, okay? So we don't want to, the whole thing that I don't want to do here in this first week, if you trying to land a deposit this week, is I don't want you to go buy a bunch of materials and spend all week building something new and not spending any time this week talking to people. You need to talk to people. The beginning of this video started with you need to have 40 conversations this week, okay? So I'm going to walk you through how to do that. But number one is if you've already built something, that becomes your item that you're marketing or selling. If you have not built anything, you need to go to people in these next series of steps and you need to ask them if they or anybody that they know have any woodworking projects that they need any help with, okay? So number one, day one, is you're going to pick the one thing and you're going to price it, okay? So we're going to try to set a reasonable price here. Now, you're not well known. Nobody knows if you can do a great job or not. So we shouldn't price this like we're trying to hit a home run. We should price this like we're trying to prove a concept. One of the strategies that I always teach is price this as inexpensively as possible just to get a sense of traction, okay? A lot of guys, they price way too high, way too early, and that they stall out because they never have enough evidence for buyers to feel confident with that price. They don't have enough reviews. They're not posting consistently enough. They don't have a website. They don't have a product catalog, but they're priced like they're a premium brand, okay? You actually have to become a premium brand in order to justify premium brand prices. So day one, pick one thing and price it. Number two is you're going to take 5 pictures of that thing that you've already built. 5 really good pictures. Now, let me say this. You're probably going to take about 100 pictures, and then you're going to pick the 5 best. This needs to be in the morning as the sun is rising, in the evening as the sun is setting. If you have a beautiful house, set it up and take a beautiful picture of it in your house. If you don't, if your house is like, it's okay, it's not great, I'm not real sure, then walk outside and set it on the grass, or set it even in the driveway. Do the best you can with what you've got, okay? And sometimes you'll find that that's good enough, and sometimes you'll find that it's not good enough. And either way, at least you've acted, and now you can make adjustments, right? And so you want to take 5 great photos of some that you've already built. And if you haven't built it yet, then skip this step. All right, day number 2. This is super, super important. This is where we start getting traction, okay? You need to make a list. You need to write down 40 names, family members, church friends, co-workers, neighbors, the guys at the lumber yard, anybody who's ever talked to you, you've ever drummed up a conversation with about custom furniture, okay? You need to make a list of people. And this is super important because this list is going to be the foundation of where you get that deposit from. And it's either going to come from the list or it's going to come from referrals from people on the list. So the second part of day 2 is you need to message them individually. You're not sending a group text. You're not sending a group email. You're not posting on your Facebook page and saying, hey, is anybody interested? No, you're literally sending these people a direct message. But you're not asking them to buy something. You're asking them if they know of anybody that would be interested in what you have to sell or has a woodworking project that they need help with. So message them individually, not a post. Say what you're building, the price, and ask if they know anybody who wants one. Asking for a referral gets answered. Asking for a sale will get you ignored. Also, you don't want to tear apart a relationship bugging somebody for a sale, okay? So make sure that it's like, hey, I'm really trying to get started with this. Do you know of anybody that would be interested in something like this? Or do you know of anybody that might have a woodworking project they need help with? And let me just tell you guys, 35 to 38 of these people are going to say no. Most of them are going to say no. You're only trying to get one deal. That's all you're trying to do. And I think sometimes, again, you stay in your head way too much. Like, well, how am I going to deal with that failure? You detach your emotions from what is necessary to drive results, okay? And here's, can I tell you something else? Success does not care what you're willing to do to be successful. Success has a standard of what is required, and you either have to meet that standard or you don't meet that standard. And so if you're like, I'll do everything but that, I'm not going to do that. Oftentimes, that thing that you're saying you're not going to do is what's actually going to lead you to success. But day 2, we're making a list when we're messaging them independently. And it's super friendly. It's not pushy. It's just, hey, I'm trying to ramp up my woodworking and custom furniture building. This is a project that I've built. Do you or anybody that you know, are y'all looking for anything like this? Do you know of anybody looking for anything like this? Or do you know of anybody looking for help with a custom furniture project? I've been woodworking for a while, but I'm brand new with trying to build a business. And so this is going to get you further than you think. Day number 3, here we go. You need to post it in Facebook Marketplace. If you have a project that you've already built, you need to get those 5 photos and you need to post it in Marketplace. List the piece you can build, priced at what you actually want, photos of the piece, and you need to renew it on an every day or every other day basis to keep it at the top of the list, okay? Again, on day 3 is you need to take that same idea that you took to Marketplace, and you need to take it to Facebook groups. But when you post in Facebook groups, your local Facebook groups, it needs to look and feel different, okay? So day 3, you got Facebook Marketplace, then you have local Facebook groups. I live in Longview, Texas. There's a local Facebook group called All Things Longview, right? That would be the equivalent of what you would be trying to find wherever you are. And you want to post in those groups and you want to introduce yourself and post your pictures and what you do. Just FYI, at this point, you've got 40 people that you've reached out to. You have Facebook Marketplace listings and Facebook group active, okay? So day 4, this one's interesting, is you need to reach out to local businesses. Okay, so we've got our 40 people, Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups. Now we want to go to coffee shops, boutiques, salons, realtors, churches, and you want to call or walk in and shake hands and introduce yourself. Give them your name and a card or something that you can leave with them to let them know who you are and what you do. It's super important that you just get in front of people. And those businesses, coffee shops, boutiques, salons, realtors, and churches, they buy tables, shelves, signage, gifts. Those are the types of businesses that you want to reach out to. Day 5 is you want to follow up on every single person who reacted, replied, or even ghosted. Most first sales come on the second message, not the first. This is one of the big things that I see guys get hung up on. They send a message or they interact with somebody and then that person doesn't get back to them or that person goes quiet. And instead of just following up and removing emotion from what is necessary, you get in your head. I'm no good. Obviously they would have reached out to me if they wanted to do a deal, blah, 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 blah. And we make all these excuses and we justify not following up. And we give ourselves a narrative so that we don't have to follow up. Well, if they really wanted it, I wouldn't have to follow up. But what you don't understand, and what I didn't understand for years, is that for me, selling furniture might be the main thing I'm trying to do. But for this person that I'm talking to, they have kids, they got a marriage, they got work, they got 1,000 other things going on. And we're the custom furniture guy. We're just a little side quest in their life, right? They don't really care about this deal nearly as much as we care about the deal. Right? But that doesn't mean that they're not interested. That doesn't mean that they're for sure a no, unless they tell you, no, I'm just not interested right now. Best of luck. I wish you the best. But most people that are interested, you still have to follow up with 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I know, and I want you to wrap your mind around that. People that are going to buy, you still need to follow up with 2, 3, 4, 5 times. That's why we retarget like with advertising and we stay in front of people over and over and over and over. And it's because it still takes follow-up. It still takes staying in their cycle of awareness over the long haul, okay? But you need to follow up. Hey, Mrs. Smith, no pressure on my end. Just want to touch base and see if you're thinking any more about that table that we talked about a few days back, whatever it might be, okay? Day number 6 and day number 7, we're working and just doing more of what we've already done, following up more, and we're trying to land that first deposit. That's what all we're trying to accomplish, is trying to land that first deposit. And let me just say this. If you're connected with any group of people, whether it be church or work or family or whatever, and you're trying to get a sense of momentum, trying to gain some traction, there's probably a good chance that's where your first deposit's going to come from. I remember when I started my custom furniture company, there were people that bought stuff from me that I don't think they actually even needed it, but they were just trying to support me. But you can't build a long-term business off of that. Like that might be exciting for a couple weeks, but that's going to flame out pretty quick, right? So you eventually, if you want to be a legitimate business, a legitimate company, you have to learn how to sell to strangers. And this is one of the things I like stand on is like, if you can't sell to strangers, you're going to have a tough time building a legitimate business. But right out of the gate, you don't have to worry about that. Sell to people that you know. We're just trying to get a sense of momentum. We're trying to gain a little bit of traction. We're trying to get some stuff built so that we can refine our craft, so that we can get some good reviews. We can start getting this boulder pushed up the hill of launching or growing the company. And so the whole thing that I want to kind of wrap this video up with, you need to detach yourself emotionally from the work. If you overthink this, you won't do it. And by the way, 99% of you guys watching this video won't do this. And you know why? Because it's free. This is a free video. It didn't cost you anything. It was easy to watch. And you won't do this. You're like, yeah, I don't feel like doing that. But then you're going to stay in the same place that you're in for the next 6 months, for next year, or next 5 years, and be frustrated because you never really gained any sense of momentum in your business. Literally, the difference between where you are and where you want to be is knowledge and action. And that's it. You just need to learn and you need to implement. And you need to learn and you need to implement. And you need to learn and you need to implement. The other thing I'll just tell you too is all the people in your town, they haven't said no to you. You've just never asked them. If you're not selling furniture, the reason you're not selling furniture is because you're not putting yourself in an environment or a position where you get to ask people to buy furniture. You're not posting on Marketplace, you're not posting in groups, you're not posting on your personal page, you're not posting on your business page, you're not running ads, you're not doing that stuff, and you're obsessing over tools and the product when you need to be obsessing over the customer and you need to be obsessing over meeting needs. Successful businesses solve problems and meet needs, right? The last thing I'll leave you with is the trap that I want to help you avoid. Is I don't want you to go buy a bunch of materials and build something for the week, and then you spent all your time not focusing on, again, talking to potential customers. This is where you actually build businesses, is you talk to potential customers, you find out what they're looking for, you solve their problem, you give them custom quotes, and you work toward closing a deal. With that, I got a couple resources for you. I've got a completely free book. I would love to invite you to check that out. It's the first link in the description below. Just enter your name, your email. We're going to get that sent over to you. If you are really ready to actually build a scalable, predictable, profitable custom furniture company, I would love to invite you to check out the Custom Furniture Launch Program as well. It's a link. There's a link in the description below for that. Also, you have to apply for that. Not everybody gets approved. You got to be ready to move now. You got to have financial resources and able to invest in the growth of your business. But if you do have those things, we would love to have a conversation with you and see if it's a good fit. It's not a great fit for everybody, but if it is, we can help you grow pretty predictably. And so, love and appreciate you guys. If this was helpful for you, please subscribe, please like, please leave me a comment. I'll see you in the next one.